Hello, magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Again, this is Nathan Chua. I'm a counselor here in the Philippines, and welcome to my YouTube channel, One Life Only Counseling. My website is onelifeonly.net, and hopefully, I give you something very interesting today. Kasi alam mo, I started with this ACT therapy in 2019, and the very first book that really introduced me to this approach. Kasi I used to probably in 2018, no, or 2017 pa. I was trying to read some of the one of actually the original text of Act Therapy, which is written by Stephen Hayes and uh, two more co-authors. I forgot. Oh, yeah, I think it's Kelly Wilson or Kevin Strassel. Okay, and it was so technical, it's so hard to understand. So finally, I went on Google and I said, "Act Therapy for Dummies." And I ended up landing this book called Get Out of Your Mind and Into Your Life. And through this book, I first got introduced to this device that is an old device used by the Chinese to kind of play with kids. It's called the Chinese finger trap. And it's a very useful tool that I use for my clients, especially at the early parts of my practice. I used to just show them videos about what this is all about. But this time, I got some finally from 2019. I've been looking for this online, asking friends to buy it for me from abroad, but wala akong mahanap. So finally, just a few days ago, I got this in my package. I found it on Lazada. So I'm so happy that this is already available and came straight from China. So if you're interested in the item that can it can serve as a metaphor for life and what life gives us. All right. It's called the Chinese finger trap. All right. So what this is, I looked it up on Wikipedia and it says that it's actually something that adults want to play tricks on other adults or even kids, no. So this is kind of like a fun game to play. So you kind of trick them into putting their fingers on both ends, and they end up getting trapped inside. All right, because when you put it in and you start to pull it, you're gonna get stuck. Okay, so it's a fun trick, but in ACT, they've used it actually to illustrate what life is all about and what the human condition is. So, um, and this, you see, if I put my fingers in and I just try to pull, I get stuck. I can't, I'm not kidding here. It's really hard unless I really pull hard. It's going to break this. All right. Now, what this represents is this could be an illustration of life. All right. Life has its limits, right? And most of the problems are around trying to get rid of pain. Okay. And life gives us certain limits about how long we can live or how much happiness we can enjoy or how long before something really bad happens. Like you and I, if we live long enough, somebody's going to pass away. We're going to lose some friends who probably have to move somewhere. Okay. So I it's kind of like showing us to live life on its terms. All right. If you kind of struggle with all that pain, you know, we're going to feel trapped. If we kind of struggle hard to pull one side or the other, it's going to feel like we're kind of, our life seems to have stopped. So it applies also to our emotions. If we kind of like struggle with our emotions, you know, we end up getting into a life that's stuck battling those emotions, battling those difficult thoughts, because that's how we are wired. Tayo ay nagkakaroon ng pakiramdam, tayo nagkakaroon ng mga mahirap na naiisip dahil nagkakaroon ng problema sa buhay eh. That's not avoidable, no? So sa ACT, we call it experiential avoidance or emotional avoidance. So if we avoid painful feelings, we kind of struggle with it. We'll end up feeling like our life is not going anywhere. But if we can let go, all right, relax, not not to forcibly relax, but not to just struggle with the finger trap, you will end up being able to remove your fingers. All right. Uh, so it's a neat illustration of how avoidance of pain can lead to suffering. Sabi nga ni Stephen Hayes dun sa libro niya, uh, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. So suffering comes when we react to certain thoughts and feelings uh, that are aimed towards getting rid of these thoughts and feelings, which are actually very human. So that's what the Chinese finger trap tells us about life. Tells us that the more we struggle, or tells us about our own humanity, the more we struggle with pain, the more we struggle with difficult thoughts and feelings, we can get stuck in that battle with those things that are innate in us. If we didn't have fear or we didn't have anxiety, we wouldn't be working hard, we wouldn't be running away from danger. So uh, if we try to get rid of that, then we're defenseless. And these are part of what we have as our tools in order to take action. So kind of like working within the limits of life, the limits of what we have uh, as human beings, is the kind of lesson that we can learn from the Chinese finger trap. The more we struggle with life, the more we struggle with our pains, the more we suffer. All right. So I hope you like this, and if you want to order it, you can order it online. This is not a plug, right? But I'm so happy that it's now available here in the Philippines. It's actually imported from China. So actually, I asked friends from the States, from Australia, and so many people I've asked about this, but wala silang mahanap. So for the first time, it's available online. All right. So comes in a pack with a lot of, I think about a dozen or so of these in different colors. So have fun with your Chinese finger trap if you get to order. Could be a trick you can play with kids, and it'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, also it's something you can teach your kids about, how to deal with life's problems. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I have a lot of surprises in this coming April, since this is part of my thrust towards my 13th year here in this work. And I owe it all to you. And I hope I have been helpful through all these years to the clients I have been serving. Okay. So you guys take care, and remember, you know, better people, better country. Okay. So you take care. Bye bye.